Hello, the channel. Welcome back, everyone. We've got another weekend in coming. It feels like the game weeks are coming thick and fast at the moment. I'm sure people will be a bit glad to see some of the other leagues coming back as well. Probably fed up listening to me talking about Celtic, etc. But as always, Celtic have got games on at the moment. Huge run, and we'll talk about that in a wee minute. So, thanks again, everyone, for watching all the videos. The figures have been pretty decent over Christmas, especially considering it's not full steam at the moment, and hopefully with all the leagues coming back, more people involved, and maybe get some news from Sorare soon on what are the plans for the upcoming seasons. Got MLS, K-League, J-League, all hopefully coming back soon as well. So on to the preview, and then we'll have a quick look at the Celtic prediction itself, and then we'll have a look at what's on fixtures wise this weekend, or if there's any players which stick out in terms of good fixtures. So top of the list here, Paris Saint-Germain against Saint Etienne. Saint Etienne have been pretty poor, to be honest, this season, although they did get a good result from memory against Reims the last game week which played. So 3.44 XG, 55% clean sheet percentage. Trust Paris Saint-Germain to the top. I have got rid of all my super rare Safanovs now, so no doubt he'll get the nod and be number one, and everybody will be going daft for him. But yeah, they've been quite hard to call with rotations. I guess Champions League doesn't come back for another couple of weeks, so maybe things will settle down, them having had a break. That's the best fixture on paper in Champion. Got Ajax against RKC, 3.31 XG, 53% clean sheet percentage. It's a wee bit unusual to see Ajax topping the charts in terms of challenger, certainly, but there we go. Definitely found a bit more form, and I guess we look down there, PSV are playing AZ, which we'll come back to in a wee minute. Rangers against St Johnstone, so 2.96 XG, 55% clean sheet percentage, and Celtic are away at Ross County, 2.91 XG, 53% clean sheet percentage. We'll go through the whole preview, then I'll do the Celtic lineup. Rangers are at home, so that's the thing. Celtic have got some away games now. Rangers probably will be slightly more of a threat in terms of the SO5 side of things, because, as I said before, when Celtic play away, Rangers play at home on the same weekend. Into Germany, and Bayern Munich are playing Borussia Mönchengladbach. Don't know if that game's in Bayern and München in Germany or in Mönchengladbach, but 2.47 XG, 35% clean sheet percentage. That seems pretty normal for Bayern Munich, to be honest. I mean, they're a pretty good team actually, but not always that tight at the back. PSV back, 2.36 XG, 39% clean sheet percentage. So I guess AZ are a pretty decent team, no doubt about that. Boskagli and Veerman, etc. I'm sure we'll still get some sort of AA. I'm not really a big sort of challenger player at the moment. Let's hope the actual cash competitions are open this weekend. It'd be a good start, wouldn't it? Monterrey against Puebla, so we've got some Mexican stuff back as well. I think Canale is still at Monterrey as well, so he's been doing well, although not an in-season card. Inter Milan against Venezia again, 2.34 XG, 52% clean sheet percentage. And our team, who I don't think have any in-season cards. So we've got Napoli, so 58% clean sheet percentage, really stands out there against Verona. So seems pretty stackable fixture. I mean, if you get that sort of high clean sheet percentage, 80% win percentage, and in the green for XG, that seems to be a pretty standout fixture for Champion there as well. Got Freiburg against Holstein Kiel. Enfnel standing out. AC Milan, they won that Super Cup thing, which was in Saudi Arabia. So what's wrong with just actually having it in your own country? Anyway, sports washing and all that. Cruz Azul against Atlas. So definitely a few games back. Atletico Madrid stand out there. There's only 2 XG, which is still actually pretty decent, but 57% clean sheet percentage. So don't think there's any Barcelona or Real Madrid in the La Liga comps this weekend. So if you're playing that specific competition, that's a pretty good chance to not have to play against your Rafinhas or any of the stars at Real Madrid who haven't really provided been SO5 stars this season. Well, from a stacking point of view, Bellingham's been pretty good, but There we go, Vinicius Junior when he comes back, suspended for 2 games as well. So we've got some Bundesliga fixtures and everything there as well, and there's some games in Turkey and in Belgium, etc. Nothing else really that's a huge standout. So onto the Celtic predicted lineup. So Brendan Rodgers done something really mad this midweek and just rolled out the same team as the previous one. So everyone was predicting, including me, some rotations, and there weren't any. So let's go through the team quickly. Kasper Schmeichel, I think he's had 17 clean sheets this season, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Joe Hart's best season at Celtic was about 2021 clean sheets, something in that region. And we're 9th of January and Kasper's had 17, which is just mad. But he is a very good goalkeeper, really good on the ball. Though I jinx him, a couple of away games coming, so that might be a bit tougher. Greg Taylor or Valley? Well, I thought Valley might have started midweek. There was this whole thing where Greg Taylor took the huff because Celtic fans were singing about Kieran Tierney. So there's a lot of speculation that Tierney's going to sign a pre-contract, come back in the summer. Greg Taylor still hasn't signed the contract. Brendan Rodgers came out after the game prior to last night against Dundee United and was sort of defending Greg Taylor, and Greg Taylor's a great player, he's done really well for the club and all this sort of stuff, but kind of sounds to me as if he's managing that situation there just to make sure that, you know, Greg Taylor's confident and playing well and everything at the moment. So with that in mind, I've got Greg Taylor in at 60% because he clearly is the number one left back at the moment, but you could easily see Valley starting away, and I think I'm going to be avoiding them. Trusting Vickers, I've got in at 75%. I really did think that Scales might start that game, being a home game. I really did, but that's not the way it transpired. So Carter Vickers doesn't really show any signs of requiring a rest just now, but it just makes me a bit nervous with this huge run of games with Vickers playing like all the games. Celtic have been coasting them, so been pretty possession dominant. So, you know, maybe he's just within himself and he's okay. It's a tough call. It is a tough call. I mean, Celtic's fixture list is playing against Ross County away, and then midweek we're playing against Dundee, and then I think round about next weekend after that we're playing against Kilmarnock home in the Cup, and then the next midweek we play against Young Boys in the Champions League. So the fixtures are just constantly all the time. So squad will be used at some stage. But Trusty and Carter Vickers played the full game. Didn't really see any need to bring on Scales and manage minutes or whatever. I guess the game was 1-0 for a lot of the time, so it was quite tight. So I think there will be some changes for this game, but there we go. Can only give you my mindset on the predictions at the moment. We'll see how things go and if there's any news. Scales starts, I wouldn't be surprised. I use Scales midweek, so now I'm going to leave Scales out. He'll probably start. That's the way it works, right? Alistair Johnson, 90%. I mean, again, Alistair Johnson doing pretty well. Celtic are 16 points clear at the moment. Rangers play tonight, so could be back to 13 points, but still a big gap, so there's a bit of leeway there. And I'm sure at some point there will be changes. Say Kilmarnock at home, the Cup would be probably a prime game to make some changes, just keep the momentum up in the league, etc. But it's a tough one to call. Cal McGregor again had a rest in the game before Ibrox, so I don't really think he'll need a rest at the moment. Imagine that, you know, the Kilmarnock Cup game would be a real prime game for even guys like him to be given a rest, just because get the Champions League game then on the Tuesday or the Wednesday night. Arnie Engel's been really good. Looks as if he's quite fit. He's hitting good bit of form at the moment. So the midfield looks a lot better with him in it, if I'm honest. So it's hard to predict that he's going to be taken back out. As I said earlier, you could see some rotation, but it's quite tough to call. So I've amended the percentages accordingly, given that there weren't any changes midweek. I do think that Rio Hatate will come back in. Count's done okay, but Hatate's looked quite sharp now when he's come on. Last 2 games, you know, he's contributed when he's come on, so I think it'll be time to reintroduce him into the team. McCowan previously was cup tied for the other cup that Celtic were playing in, the one that we won against Rangers at Hampden. So McCowan could, for example, play against Kilmarnock at home the following weekend. So I think that would be a prime game to rotate him back in. Daisen Maeda's been excellent. James Forrest still injured at the moment, so there's no real huge backup option there. Luis Palma, strong rumours he's going to Vallecano. Don't know if that's true or not. So Yang in there at 10%. We'll come back to that in a wee minute. And I forgot to say earlier, another news, Stephen Welsh has now signed for Mechelen and loan until the end of the season. So it is only really trusty Carter Vickers and Scales who are realistic sort of first choice options for the moment, unless Celtic bring somebody else in. Furuhashi 75%. Adam Ida started the last two. Not really done much, if I'm honest. I mean, I guess it's quite harsh on him as well because Furuhashi's not been firing much, and I guess the way Celtic are playing, getting the ball out to the wingers, they've contributed quite a lot. Maeda's had a great season, for example. Not a lot of service going into the forwards, so that's definitely an area that Celtic try and address, but it's quite hard when teams are playing so defensive, so 10 men behind the ball, low block, all that type of stuff. It's hard, but I think that Furuhashi could come in to start this one after he sat out the last two. I don't see him sitting out a lot of games. I think Brendan will want to start getting back up to speed for that Young Boys home game, which is coming up, I think, on the 22nd, which seems like relatively close, but still quite a few games before then. Yang and Nicholas Kuhn. Well, Nicholas Kuhn was a heartbreak midweek. What happened was he was in the starting lineup. Thought I'd actually get a couple of teams of 5 out of 5. So okay, that's fine. No relegation, everything all-star. Some decent prizes in there if you get right up the top. But right on kick-off, there was a last-minute change, and basically what Roger said was that Nicholas Kuhn had felt something in his thigh and he would be assessed today. So I think it's unlikely that Kuhn will start this game. Now I've said that, he probably will start, like it's just odds law, but I think Celtic will be cautious with that. Say there's some real big Champions League games coming up. Celtic got Young Boys at home, and then they've got Aston Villa away, and they're all before the end of this month, so coming up in the next couple of weeks. So I don't really see any need to go mad and risk Nicholas Kuhn. We have been quite reliant on him for goals and assists, so that's the need, if that makes sense. And I think that Celtic are in the market for another winger this window. So if Palma is let go, Stephen Welsh has already been moved out. Rumours are Bernabei is going to finalise his move soon to Brazil as well. So that will free up some spaces, some wages, some transfer fees and things to maybe bring in one or two there as well. Yang, I do like the looks of, but his end product's pretty poor. And I think that Celtic may at some point either sell him if there's an offer available, or maybe they'll move him out on loan to try and get him a bit of development time somewhere in game time. So a lot of the times he is just sitting on the bench, but frustratingly he's not improved that much. So that's the overall synopsis for Celtic. Maybe less changes than people would be expecting, but there is an R game midweek against Dundee away. You can see a few changes for that, and then the obvious one's a cup game against Kilmarnock, which isn't an SO5 game anyway. So anyways, that's enough talking about Celtic. Celtic have been good to me, so I know I've been good to a lot of other people as well, and I'd just like to say I do appreciate all the comments from people when they come on and say that the analysis has really helped their selections, etc. So that is much appreciated. So we've got the anti-stack running this weekend. Interesting. That format's back again. La Liga's opened. Let's have a look at discovering new competitions, because that's usually the easiest way to go about it. See what the specials are. So I think anti-stack's the only special because All-Star, being although it's a special, is permanent in January. So that was a wee change which Sorare had announced. I think that makes sense. We've got an All-Star which has 2 entries. That gives people the flexibility if for their sort of classic cards, etc., and something to play for. Anti-stack wise, the rewards are usually quite good in here as well, so there'll be a few stars around. There's even a star super rare as well, and there'll be a star rare available, so it's definitely worth having a go at stuff like that. So let's have a look at players. We'll have a look firstly at my own players. It's always good to get a gauge on that. and then we'll go from there. So Jan All Black, 90% start percentage, no big surprise there. 57% clean sheet percentage, so could be a good weekend for him. I don't know what I'm going to do with him actually, because I don't have any Real Madrid cards, so I don't think I can enter La Liga, so he might be going into an All-Star or something. We'll see. Kasper Schmeichel, no huge surprise there. Maybe a wee bit more AA expected, but still 53% clean sheet percentage. I mean, Celtic have been running well above average, I think, in terms of clean sheets. Like I said, 17 clean sheets so far this season is incredible. Looks like Livakovic will be back. That's interesting. Fenerbahce been quite leaky, so you see his last 15 of 42. That is incredibly bad for a team like Fenerbahce. Like, anyways, I guess All Blacks is 47, so it's not that bad. But from an SO5 point of view or a Sorare point of view, it's pretty bad. Like, not reliable. Anyone else standing out there? Lamans could be a reasonable option there as well. On to defenders. Remember, these are my own players. This is spreadsheet from Sorare Probabilities, just in case anyone's kind of new to the channel. This spreadsheet from Sorare Probabilities, and these players and these projected scores are from my own gallery. So Stephen Welsh away to Mechelen, so that information won't apply. Carter Vickers, nice high expected score. Alistair Johnson. Nathaniel Brown's an interesting one. He's pretty good player. Projected 78, although it's only a 33% clean sheet percentage, so must be based on some expected AA, etc. Tronner's an interesting one. Guy who used to score really well all the time. Marquinhos for PSG with the standout fixture as we were looking at earlier. Nice to have Nico Schlotterbeck back. 22% clean sheet percentage at home. That doesn't surprise me with Dortmund, but yeah, estimated or projected 69. I think he'd probably do better than that. Canale is back. He's been smashing it, so projected 94. He's quite a good classic card for people to use. So that's definitely one. I mean, I don't think he's that expensive really, but he's definitely one you could look at for your contender regions or even for your all-star with projected 94. Nadim Amiri, I'm not sure if his red card suspension still applies. Good home fixture as well, which is a shame, but one to check there. João Neves, just been rotated a lot this season, it's frustrating. Good to have Bayern back as well. They've always got some high projected scores. Griezmann in there with a projected score of 88. I think the English Premier League's got a break this weekend, so that's going to be quite hard for me in Champions, so that's a shame. But anyway, it's just the way it is. But 88 is a high projected score, so that shows the fixture really for Atletico Madrid. Sherky there with an away game, 83. Jacob Ondrejka was linked, I think, away, so I don't know if there's any substance in that, but pretty good player actually. So he's only 40% starter on the sheet, so keep an eye on that. Musiala only in at 60% sheet. I don't know why that is. Looks like Kvaradon is injured. As said earlier, Nicholas Kuhn's pretty doubtful for this weekend. Anyone else really sticking out? I mean, no, Simhan's done pretty well over in Turkey, right? He's been pretty good. But I say there's a lot of leagues coming back, not on full steam ahead. I think the biggest one will be when we get to the competitions the following weekend when we've got the neon thing and everything on. So that will be for this game week. 14th to 17th. Yeah, no, that's an all-star midweek, and then the neon one starts on the 17th. So that'll be the weekend where you got all the Bundesliga back, the English Premier League, everything will be back as well, I think. Looks like we've got some midweek EPL fixtures and everything there as well, which is quite interesting. So lots of stuff, obviously, to look forward to. In terms of selections, I'm not really doing much at the moment. I mean, a lot of my teams are very Celtic focused at the moment, but I don't really know what I'm going to do with the teams. I made a bit of a mess of it midweek, which probably best to do it when it was an all-star with no cash and no relegations and everything, so it's a bit of a saving grace. Although when I say I made a mess of it, you can't do anything about Nicholas Kuhn getting injured in the warm-up, right? What can you do? So that'll do us, I think, 20 minutes, lots of information in there. If anyone has any questions or if there's anything I'm not covering in the video you want me to cover, please get into the comments and fire away. I will reply to them as soon as I can. Please like and subscribe. We're pretty much there in terms of the 2,000 subscribers at the moment, which is pretty good. Like the channel go just something similar this year. No real aspirations of being a huge YouTuber. Although 2,000 subscribers is pretty good, but I've really appreciated all the comments on the updates, the previews, and the videos and everything, particularly over the Christmas period, which has been quite UK focused. So, anyways, we'll leave it at that. We'll end in the customary fashion for a game week. If you're playing this weekend, good luck and go fuck.